Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only master propaganda hero psych, defender of the fatherland, off it to a 1v1 on, you guessed it, road to Tunis. In the west, it is Akkerman, fighting for freedom, democracy, and liberty, here with the US 1st Armored Division, tasked with breaking the position held here by the falsche Brigade Ramke here with the Luftwaffe. Second, Falschen Pioneer Company here with Falschen Pioneers dropping in, Kettenkrat following up here for Gonky, an aggressive strategy, bold, brazen, looking to seize the ground in the name of Deutschland and hold it against those pesky Yankees. As always, big hearty thanks to my patrons and boarders for the continued generous and wonderful support of the Propagandacast, the heroic and valiant efforts to keep the Propagandacast running, and a big thanks to keep commenting and liking on the videos. Also helps it by, spreading out the word of the Propagandacast through the YouTube algorithms. So, Engineers Jeep here for Akkerman. German Falschen Pioneers drop in there aggressively. Kettenkrat racing in there. Engineers or Pioneers as well there. South side slow approach here. Focusing more north clear, hoping to disrupt the German early game here. Perhaps expecting the Kettenkrat, perhaps not, but clearly looking to do some work here. Falschen Pioneer about to sail with the Jeep rushing 40. You need to gain some shots here in the Car-90K post. Car-90K's punches some holes there. Good lord. Wouldn't figure that'd be so hard to say, but for some reason today it was. Second Falschen Pioneer squad here. I'm amazed at Gonky's commitment to the mighty Falschen Pioneer, which were actually fairly elite infantry. To the point there was actually a battle in Tunisia where a Falschen Pioneer unit actually managed to do such a good job at completely just stalling the Brits, they actually basically decided to just take a detour around the entire unit instead of trying to go through them. Which says something about their tenacity. So, little fun fact there. Second Falschen Pioneer northwards here. Americans threatening the northern viewpoint. Falschen Pioneer charging with that Car-98Ks. Die Karbine nach 89 kurz. Nice, good there. Jeep, got the rifle, they're blasting away there. Taking a man lost on the Falschen Pioneer, floating manpower. Perhaps Gonky's got something planned out, something scheming. Who knows? And uses this Falschen Pioneer up north, charging in with the might of the Falschen Pioneer. A third Falschen Pioneer squad. Gonky's commitment here is absolutely wondrous. If you're into Falschen Pioneers and Falschen Jaegers. If not, obviously this is going to be a bit, what is this guy doing, man? This is absolutely undemocratic. Someone called the White House. Anyways, Falschen Pioneers, the Jeep. Jeep Gold Ratings 1, ripping through those Falschen Pioneers like a hot knife through butter. Falschen racing in. They almost got the Jeep here, but they almost got the Falschen Pioneers ordering the self-repairs even as it's driving. Amazing work here by the crew, juggling those tools in a moving Jeep. Kettenkrat going for the cut-off repairs here. Infantry company here for Gonky. Akkerman with the infantry support center. Jeeps already managed to fix up in a matter of seconds. True skill there, witnessed by the Jeep's crew to the point you do wonder why are they even serving a Jeep when they could do so much more work, back at maintenance, fixing up tanks that much faster. Complete waste there by the United States Army, obviously. So we got the infantry support center slowly going up here for Akkerman. Triple Falschen Pioneer out of Gonky. Definitely been a while since seen that. Officer squad as well there. I mean, if you're going to commit to that many Falschen Pioneers, you obviously want the officer's quarters, the officer quartier. Pioneer here versus the Jeep. Routed. Kettenkrat zooming away. They're heavily damaged. Belching out smoke, not having a great time. Officer's quarters almost done here. We'll have to see what it goes for next. Will it be the Falschen Jaegers? Will it be the LG-40?
Sector now under enemy control.
Could of course be the Gonky's keeping points up just in case, he needs the LG-40 and go for it. Okay, he's aiming at least here for the Falschen Jaegers. It would appear going for the strafing run there. Luftwaffe strength run can be quite an effective ability when used correctly. It can really disrupt your opponents, make it happen in both attack and defend. So if you know how to utilize it, it's really good, honestly. That said, if you don't know how to utilize it, it can basically end up being a waste of munitions. It's one ability you do have to be mindful of, but again, you know how to utilize it, can really go a long way for you. Panzergrenadier Company clearly being planned, but I think also Gonky sort of looked at the command point and went, "You know what, Friedrich? Nein, Jürgen, and shut up. I'm trying to direct a war. Well, what if we went for Fallschirmjägers? That's actually a good idea." The Luftwaffe Company instead of the Fallschirmjägers, and I guess I'd hope they'd go for Fallschirmjägers, but maybe that's just me. Jeep there withdrawing. Got the captain there hard at work directing the war here by the center victory
The enemy
point.
has taken a victory point.
Pioneers laying down mines here, die Schützenmine. 42. Luftwaffe Company almost done for Gonky.
What are your orders? Territory captured.
And Captain Crack, they're causing some repairs. Noting, of course, he could upgrade with communication cables for some boots there, wouldn't be bad there. Akkerman with Spec Ops, which again feels like it's like, you know, one of the #1 battle group choices at the moment. That I just somehow managed to pick every replay where they go for it, and somehow miss every other replay crazily, which would be a fantastic coincidence. Almost got the Jeep there. Almost had it, but it narrowly escapes here. In the center here, we got a flak further here for Gonky. Not in the center though, back at his base. Nothing further here out of Akkerman. Might be aiming here for half tracks. Maybe more something else though. We'll have to see.
Possession of a capture point.
Half tracks do seem like Gonky could go for Fallschirmjägers, but so far isn't. Got the ND-15 and the Fallschirm Pioneer. Still not a fan of that upgrade personally.
Alarm. Sector overrun.
Still not a fan, but that's just me obviously.
Männer barely needed. Don't fuck up. Fallschirmpioniere, ready for orders.
Got the advanced logistics here for Akkerman. Rather than hitting the mine there, taking some nasty losses.
2-centimeter flag, we're ready. You have orders?
Got that flak 30 ready. We got the advanced logistics here, sort of getting ready here for Akkerman himself as the Fallschirmpioniere.
You need us? You men are barely needed. Don't fuck up.
What will happen next here out of both players? It is interesting, went for it and then didn't really do anything with it. Seems like a bit of an odd choice there for me. An odd choice. Fixing up the Jeep there. Mines up north here. Definitely detonating under Ackerman's feet. And we got the SSF commander there. The Special Service Force. Apparently being run quite raggedly. It's late. Rapney getting hammered with the flak 30. Fallschirmpionier pushing northwards. Could go for the Fallschirmjägers now, but might be planning here to go for the drop there of enforcement cost there. Production we'll have to see. Fallschirmpionier doing a bit of damage to the Jeep, but they're still looking like they might be losing. Some of the Jeep just proceeds to miss a lot of shots. In fact, it got self-repair activated. But that's not going to buy perhaps enough time. We got Metsu and the Fallschirm. Oh, actually ends up retreating. They're just absolutely terrified at how fast they're repairing. Jürgen, somehow repairing faster so we can damage. I mean, just look at those bullet holes. They're vanishing before their eyes. This is horrifying. What is wrong with these Americans? They're breaking the laws of physics. I can't stand this. Another flag 30 there for Gonky. Got the SSF commanders there with the Johnsons out. Absolutely leveling pure havoc there against the Fallschirm Pioneers. Force retreat to second flak 30 on the other for Gonky. Interesting build here, Fallschirm Pioneers and flak 30s.
Enemy infantry spotted us!
Got the commanders there pushing ahead here. I'm surprised I haven't just seen anything else out of them here so far. And there you go, flak 30 to the rescue of the Fallschirm Pioneers commanders. They're getting plastered with heavy automatic fire.
They killed another!
Guessing Akkerman is going to probably go for some more SSF commandos as soon as he can. Again, it does beg the question about this. Best guess I can say is he probably had something in mind and just realized, hang on, this isn't going to work out. Or he just had decided, you know what, I'm not going to need that after all. Always possible to change your mind doing something. You just have to be careful, like, you know, don't change your mind too often for that, like, you know, much direction. At that point, it can start becoming a bit of a problem. Black 30, they're getting swarmed. We got rifle charging in central to do some damage here to Gonky. Jeep racing in there. It's going to probably try and pick it up if it can, though it's getting focused on with the Fallschirm Pines. There goes straight from as well here. Yes, Jeep down. Rifle pinned down to the ground here. So Luftwaffe comes in. Second Flak 30 joining in here, catching Akkerman's men in an absolute zone there of devastation. Undemocratic practices. Meanwhile, the Cairncrad is now the one there picking up the Flak 30, holding it off here.
Advanced weaponry will soon be
Fire
available.
support elements here. Support elements only. Likely equivalent here out of Gonky. Might have been needed.
We have lost
As for Akkerman,
control
we
of the
got the
victory
second SSF Commando squad out there with the Johnson light machine gun there, made or invented by Melvin Johnson. Could also invent the Johnson rifle.
Enemy infantry!
Johnson rifle losing out to the M1 Garand. Was apparently an otherwise excellent
We have
semi-automatic
advanced
rifle
weaponry ready
usage
to be
by the
deployed.
Marines in the Pacific, who basically couldn't get the Garand, and so basically grabbed a bunch that contended for the Dutch.
Return fire!
The Johnson light machine which serves with various units like the
The
Rangers
adversary is trying to
and
take
the
one of
SSF
our
Commanders, I
points.
believe, being somewhat similar to the German FT-42 overall in terms of design and functionalities. There's a bit of a fun hack. Then cover there.
Territory lost.
Punching pen getting close down with the Commanders. Johnson's there, absolutely ripping them apart there. Full wipe here. Popping out the flak pans on the way here for Gonky. Of course, the two SSF Commander squads should be able to do some damage for it. And of course, it might be went for it just to go for the upgraded bazooka rockets, because he's never going to need that with a flak panther around, that's for sure. Double flaksman forwards here. Heavy flak fire there, the flak
Victory point
crews.
lost.
Further south here, pioneers versus engineers. There goes swarming here, the flak 30s. Commandos, captain there going in. Hard to drop into artillery here, perhaps. Punching pin with MD-15 dropping in. Veterans 2 they gain. In the end, the assault goes poorly. The captain is cut down there in a very dramatic scene.
Infantry spotted
They'll
us!
have to be saved for the director's
A
cut.
verbal event is deploying to the field.
They found us! Return
Ooh,
fire!
nice use here, by the way, actually. Using the Scourge Treat ability where they basically can drop a smoke grenade to save the commandos. 2 thumbs up to Akkerman. That was actually pretty sharp thinking. But he's going to have to think sharper than that as the Flak Panzer IV Wirbelwind arrives. Another captain there for Akkerman. Yeah, he's going to need something to punch holes into that Flak Panzer. It's going to be a massive headache here for Akkerman.
Enemy infantry!
But, on the other hand, doesn't lose the Cairncrad.
Spotted us!
This stage of the match, that's probably not going to be the biggest loss to Gonky and the Fallschirm Brigade Ramke, but it will nonetheless represent a bit of a loss there. MD-15 wielding Fallschirm Pioneer moving in. They're getting mauled, almost at the Fallschirm Passport, they're wiped. Wow!
Fallschirm Pioneer.
Down for infantry, and straight from an inbound, bit late to the party though. Still gets them pinned. Got 7 command points. At this point, he needs to pick the cheaper reinforcements and the Fallschirm ability at this point, honestly, and just get going. So I think Gonky might be getting a bit too caught up in the frontline action and is forgetting about other elements he could be doing. Well, there you go.
Infantry are ready to
Fallschirmjägers can still go for cheaper reinforcements, by the way, but there you go. Fallschirmjägers of the Fallschirm Brigade Ramke dropping in. It's the largest German airborne unit in North Africa, where the Italians did have, I believe, 2 of their own paratrooper divisions in North Africa. These tend to get a bit less talk about, unfortunately, but they were quite good. And at times, they actually performed some pretty, daring operations to help the Germans retreat, for example, during Akkerman, if you remember correctly. Fallschirm Plan Squad Mode 3 down. That's a pretty heavy blow, and all of them got taken down with those SSF commandos. That's quite painful there for Gonky. Quite good, of course, for Akkerman. And really, I think it's just like completely managed to like erase whatever like advantage Gonky had going. I do think part of it's just not calling in Fallschirmjäger sooner, and maybe not doing a bit more with all this command point. I mean, still floating 7, he could still go for cheap reinforcements. I mean, he could honestly almost pick every ability now he wants in the battle group. So Gonky just floating this many command points, I have to say, isn't quite sitting well with him. I feel like this is a bit of a slip there by Gonky on a operational level. It is, I think, finding Akkerman some room to do more damage with. We got officer scores from the Luftwaffe company, thumbs up. Benefits obviously the flak guns, the Fallschirmjägers, and the Wirbelwind. So that's a very good upgrade to have here for Gonky. As for Akkerman, we're not really seeing much out of the base at the moment. It's like, bit of quiet. Not much else happening here. No upgrades. Nothing. You know, it's just base stuff.
Headquarters has an officer stationed.
Also similarly floating command points, though at least it doesn't have, like, you know, a very powerful, cheap reinforcements ability to pick from. For
Stuka
example,
aircraft ready to loiter the target area.
got the loiter there, so he went for that first cheap reinforcements. Interesting pick there. Not bad. I just feel like, you know, considering the situation, you could have benefited from the cheap reinforcements much sooner, obviously, and even now, so yeah. Definitely something worth keeping in mind there. Still, we got Akkerman and the Forces of Freedom and Democracy pushing forward. The engineer spotted by the Flak 30. Fixing up the Flak Panzer IV. Which, by the way, distinctly did not fight in North Africa. It was a very late 1944, I believe, design, maybe mid-1944. So only much too late for North Africa. I don't even think they had, like, any anti-aircraft tanks. Most of the anti-aircraft guns would have been basically just stuff mounted on trucks, cars, and half-tracks. A quick historical side note there. Function makers flag fighting forwards, people rushing in here. Got 342s, 450. Another Vibrant here for Gonky. Akkerman, meanwhile, flooding resources a bit here as well. They got wiped. Absolute just hailstorm of automatic fire of Gonky just eviscerating the rifleman. SF Commander going for another wipe and narrowly avoids a wipe. Super close call here for Gonky. Exceptionally so. And we got the whiz-bang here for Akkerman.
We have command points that require use.
Getting sort of memories back from CoH3 where some people just go in and like fire the rocket shotgun approach. And my suspicion is Akkerman might be looking to do something similar. Just go rocket shotgun here and some opponents start blowing up things.
Verbal wind on station.
Second Flak Panzer out. Flak Panzer being met by the SSF commandos. Rockets. Yeah, he has upgraded the improved rockets by now. Of course, like the recent Akkerman's doing this partly, of course, it's like he just wants to like get a lot of damage and it's faster than coming into a Sherman, start pushing even harder. Basically, again, the Flak Panzer go both descending upon the commanders here, doing a lot of damage. Rifleman commandos rushing in here. Getting for that wipe here. Getting some damage in, but I don't think this will be even remotely close. Now you go, SSF command squad wiped here. Gonky gets some vengeance for all those fallen Falchion Pioneer. And there you go, rocket shotgun deployed somewhat against the Falchion Jaegers, though not quite as vicious as the Goliath goes, because they're like, they deliver quite the volume of rockets. In this case, the Falchion suffer incredible amounts of damage, but no casualties.
Schützen-based armor will be
Armored sides
applied to
goes away for the Flak Panzers. Use me with the Flak 30. Falchion rolling forward with the FE-42s. South side, I feel like could be seeing a bit more action here.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Commanders entering Portugal through the terrain in there, go dropping a white Falchion grenade on the Flak 30.
Armored skirt supplied. Good hunting.
Schützen ready. Commanders on that with immense amounts of flak fire here. And here Akkerman's strategy is obviously hitting a bit of a significant stack. He really wants some tanks, honestly. They can actually, you know, engage with righteous rather than the whiz-bangs. So, and basically kind of relying on the whiz-bangs here, because I'm not having like anti-tank half-tank thing. It's starting to prove to be a bit of a strategic flaw there for Akkerman. Like, if you do enough damage with the whiz-bangs fast enough, I mean, there's a chance he might still be able to, like, you know,
HQ shall be receiving
turn
ready.
a corner there, but at the same time, but at the same time, it doesn't mean these buildings are just going to chew him up. But there's definitely some challenges here for Akkerman versus Gonky. more pioneers for Gonky. That was his only pioneer squad since all of his Falchion pioneers had previously been taken out by the Americans.
Give us a target.
New ability
That comes
online.
roaming back. Finally got ET reinforcements going for the
Pioneers
Flak
standing by.
38 emplacement. Flak 38 largely just being a Flak 30, but with a gun shield. It could also be carried around like this. Similarly, in fact, the Flak filling could also be moved around like this. Probably a bit of balance and actually make, look
The enemy
meaningful
has
when you're
taken a
throwing like
victory
4,
point.
20-minute
Weapon team
autocannons, like.
What needs to be done?
Technically doable.
The enemy has claimed our territory.
There's
for their
Banksy
own.
again at it. Going for the Flak 30 here. There's the rockets though, not quite making the impact. I imagine here that Akkerman might have been doing up. There you go.
Flak gun is
True
silenced.
down.
True dead.
Set. I don't think he is nowhere close to having the. He's actually kind of close to having the experience required. It's like, for example, converted into a Sherman tank by popping the rocket pod on top of the tank. Arch makes to the south here. We once will see Gonky starting to get more map control against Akkerman. After those game successes, the people really turn things around. Akkerman, again, Akkerman just not having a more significant threat to the Flak Panzer, though, but really sort of bitten Akkerman in his posterior aggressively. And there you go, a lot of unleash as well here. Oh! Start the white, they're gaining veterans 1 on the Sherman Whispering. There you go, rocket pod popped, but with the UV coming far there from the Northern Forward, he might of course be a bit less inclined to keep around there, but he may also keep around here. Got the commanders that have absolutely pinned down. The amount of firepower just directly against the obviously being way too much. Yeah, the Sherman has 2 Flak Panzers is a problem now for Gonky, as in the similar way that where Akkerman just didn't have like significant counters to the Midlands, now it's Gonky who is now in the situation. He doesn't really have like a lot of great counters to the Sherman tank. So that creates some challenges. There's also airdropping into tank guns, finally. He's also floating an immense amount of munitions, and honestly, could have laid down a lot of mines when he's active. So definitely I think some areas here where Akkerman might want to apply a bit of polish to his tank. More martyrs of a Gonky. Turning to the glorious tank destroyers to deal with the Shermans.
Location secure. Weapon team at enemy infantry.
Marder tank destroyer is ready for combat.
First Marder 3M here ready for Gonky. Large Navy he might be dropped up the ship lane as well. He's an extra troop right in front of all the guns of Democracy Unity is. SSF commanders almost got the Sherman tank. Oh, the Flak Panzer with the Sherman. We've got to go Marder to the rescue here. Another great shot there from the Marder 3M. Got the American sort of marked target team unleashed. There you go, whiz bang. But by the time the trigger's activated on that thing, the Germans are long gone. Gonky obviously seeing right through Akkerman here, as though he was transparent and glass-like, ignoring thusly safely the absolute massive
They are securing our capture point.
Now the West Bank for Akkerman, so yeah, it's the sort of strategy again. I think it's also become a bit more popular with this build, where basically just calling out a lot of whiz bangs, get them to enter one, convert to the Shermans, and then just keep at it. Basically ensuring you always got like a mix of tanks and artillery that way. It's a bit cheeky like that. It's a bit cheeky.
2 centimeter flak. We are ready.
It's very, very.
The enemy has claimed our sector.
Got a machine gun there seized by Akkerman. Back at the base, there's courtesy of the supply drop, plus of course an anti-tank gun, giving Akkerman more supplies to match against the Germans here of the Fallschirmbrigade Ramke. Named after its commanding officer, whose last name was Ramke. This was, by the way, a typical German thing, by the way, like, you know, if they had like an ad hoc formation, it would typically, for a good part of the war, always be named after the commanding officer. Towards the latter half of the war, they might, you know, do some other slight, you know, nomenclature. Generally, like, you know, for a good part of the war, it's basically like, you know, they had like an ad hoc formation to be named after the commanding officer. So, little fun fact there. I mean, there were even some exceptions before that, simply more within some other systems. So, German 40 mounting a new quick shot here, but taking a massive hit to one into tank gun here. Fallschirmjäger's nearly surviving. Total annihilation. Gonky could consider some more Fallschirmjägers, but I don't know, he's feeling like he wants to go for them. Being with the flak panzer here. And he is taking the weakness in the Marders. There you go, double whiz-bang. Clearly wasn't expecting that, neither was I. Akkerman was ready, perhaps even expecting it. But maybe hoping that Gonky would think he was safe from the whiz-bangs, and then boom, get whiz-bangs. That certainly catches Gonky in a bad state here. Marder utterly kaput. Smashed into pieces by those verdammte Amerikaner. People in there dodging the shot. Commanders being absolutely roasted with flak fire in the center like chestnuts. Fallschirmjäger setting out here. Gonky's got a resource cache on the way here. Munitions, so clearly aiming for more loiters, maybe some mines. It's saying they got wiped out. Of course, can be crewed here by Ackerman's trusty crewmen. Himself here with the flak panzer and the Fallschirmjägers. I think they could just try to bomb them. Anyways, Fallschirmjägers, they're moving ahead with their FG-42s.
Panzers coming through.
Awaiting orders.
Be a bit of quiet here. Both players playing with the resource. I mean, Akkerman could just go for more whiz-bangs. Gonky, I guess, more Marders. Fallschirmjägers, he could take up. He could take sideways for Stugs. I mean, there's certainly quite a few paths here. Both players basically can, like, pick at this one. It's like, you know, they're like at a crossroads with an awful lot of roads in a lot of directions. Gonky, briefly considered Marders, but something tells him no, he wants the Panzer Company instead. Not a bad idea, but honestly, I think with the resources they are, he might actually be better off going for the Panzer Grenadier Company than going for some Stugs. They can correctly, they can certainly trade fairly effectively with Shermans in this correct. Oh well, like for the bombarded people in south control of the double Shermans. Actually a bit surprising to send off his flak panzers that far away from most of his forces, considering his opponent like has multiple Shermans at this point. That was definitely like practically begging for the Shermans to come along and ruin it.
Territory sector lost.
So the situation for Gonky is starting to look, I think, significantly less ideal. Like, at some points he's definitely had, I think, you know, the upper hand, but some strategic decisions, I think, has clearly proven out to be anything but sound, as Akkerman just, you know, charging into a lot of Shermans and whiz-bangs. So Panther falls, oh, he can't. No, it did get finished, okay. Just looked like it briefly like it was a cancel. Like, what? Why would you cancel it now? What's wrong with you, Gonky? Why would you cancel your Panzer Company at this stage of the match? You lost your mind? This du Wahnsinn! This du Wahnsinn, Gonky!
We have orders.
Even worse. Anyways, Fallschirmjäger pushing forwards here. Was it simple? Never really got the hang of German ground, unfortunately. And German quite well, but actually, like, formulating myself on it is a different tale entirely. There you go. Glider called in, Fallschirmjäger's charging in. Unfortunately for Gonky again, he's got like one mod against multiple entertainers, Shermans and whiz-bangs. Never making things tough here for Gonky. Fallschirmjäger, oh, again, friendly fire, friendly fire.
Commandant.
A terrible engagement there for Gonky. Lost his remaining infantry squad here, by the way. Denkrat down too. This is turning into an absolute assassin for Gonky, and the Fallschirmjäger guarded Amke. He's even turning to more Marders now because he can't afford to wait for the Panzer IV. At least go for some Starstorm or Fallschirmjägers, but I mean that's happening here for Gonky. Feels like Gonky's just kind of
Victory point lost.
Lost himself a bit here in the desert. Dehydrated. He changed the wrong choices. As he seeks out a mirage. I actually find dropping in some Fallschirmjägers at least. But yeah, Gonky's odds is starting to look pretty grim.
Our Anti-tank gun is out of
Cleared up with
commission.
the charging ace-level SSF commanders there. Using the Fightmakers, the grabbing some flak, the birdies providing suppressive fire here. Commandos pinned down to the ground here. At this point, it does feel like Akkerman is just holding all the cards.
2-centimeter flak gun is silent.
Meanwhile, Gonky's
True dead.
just
We have
holding a
lost control of the
hand
victory
well.
point. We have
Rules to
reports
start
that
poker.
Fallschirmjäger have been killed.
Fightmakers got a wipe there.
The day is lost.
There you go, GG, game over. A loss there for Gonky. A nice back and forth match. There's some interesting strategies there, at least from Gonky's side. The SS Fanatical is really showing why they are so popular. They're incredibly effective. And I think Gonky, though, also just really didn't help himself. Like, he was very late in some of his strategic choices, which really only benefited Akkerman. Like, you know, again, like picking certain abilities, like could have that cheap reinforcement going much sooner. I think that helped him a lot. Then, you know, edge out some of the cases. Also could have Fallschirmjägers out much sooner. And yeah, like there's so much I think could have done better, unfortunately. And that really just allowed, you know, Akkerman with a much more linear strategy with just the whiz-bang Shermans and the SS commanders just basically roll them. So I definitely think there's some merit to what Gonky was doing, but he needs to like basically just be, you know, several steps further ahead than his opponent. He just couldn't play it like he did there. It was like he was practically thinking he was the American player and not the German. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the match. I'll learn something from it. This is Pro Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye, everyone.